All right. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Gotta do the push through. Gotta do the push through. The push through. The push through. The push through. Yep. Clear Visions podcast. I am late on the video, but we are here. So here we go. What's up? What's up, Mr. LP Clear Visions podcast or Clear Visions, whichever one to call it. We're still trying to figure this thing out. Thank you so much for hitting play. Thank you so much for watching the audio, watching the video, or listening to the audio. Either way, I greatly appreciate all of it. So thank you so much. If you're watching this on video, please make sure you subscribe over here somewhere. Make sure you subscribe so you get notifications when I throw a video up, as well as on the audio aspect of it. Make sure you subscribe there as well. Apple, Spotify, all that stuff. You can find all this on my website, mrlp.com. Go through this, explore what's going on, see what I got happening, or what I did have happening, whatever you want to call it. Just make sure you go to mrlp.com. And while you're there, please make sure you go to mpn-llc.com as well and see what's going on up there. We finna start all the podcast shows. They're getting started back up for 2025. So it's going to be some good entertaining stuff over there on both sites. So please make sure you subscribe to those and get those updates. All right. So I won't be, I try not to be in front of you this much, but with my consistency that I'm going to be doing, it might feel like it's going to be a bit much, but it's going to be a good bit much. So just want to run through what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Super Bowl. Super Bowl happened yesterday on February 9th, 2025. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Hillman talk. I haven't did research, in-depth research to it, but just want to talk about my thoughts on it, just from kind of looking at it and seeing what other people have been talking about it via threads. After that, I'm going to give my 5 tools that I can't live without when creating. Let's see, and then we're gonna talk about R&B parties. Oh man, I forgot all about all this stuff. Yeah, gonna talk about community, and we're gonna talk about Joe Budden's post. So I'm sitting here now in real time thinking like, do I really want to go through all these, or do I want to just kind of keep it short? That's what we're going to do. So with that, we're gonna pause on the communications is important. No, the community is important, and the Joe Budden joint. I'll come back within the next 2 days, and then I will talk about those topics. So we're going to pause on the community is important. That was a clip from Breakfast Club. I'm going to do some more research on that. We're going to talk about Joe Budden's post where he was talking about friends and how transactional that is. And then I'll actually bring the Hillman talk into that conversation as well. So we'll cut this in half indeed. All right. And also, I want to add that we're going to add a new segment to the Clear Visions podcast. It's called the Visions Check. And that's basically where I just give like a really quick blurb, or not even a quick blurb. Might be extensive. I might make the whole show a vision check, but it's just something that we're going to just pull, and I'll give a little bit of my insights. I'll probably get a little bit more in depth with the tool that I'm using, a thought that I'm having, a journey that I'm going on. I'll just do a little more in depth with it. So we're going to incorporate that on the next show. Okay. So please make sure that you tuned in, tapped in, all the great stuff on that. All right. So vision check is the new segment that we're going to have. Al Pete and the podcasting world definitely loves a great visions check. And I'm going to incorporate that and promote it and all the great things. All right. So here we go. All right. So yesterday, February 9th, 2025, Super Bowl 59, I'm sorry, took place in New Orleans, or Nolens, Louisiana. It was the Kansas City Chiefs with the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles pulled it out 40-22. 40-22. Boy, if it was Madden or if it was Tecmo Bowl back in the day, the rules was like 21 skunk. Like, well, if you got to the halftime and it was 21 skunk, you was done with. And I want to say, and I don't remember, but I want to say if you got to 21 in the first quarter, you had to get them sticks up. So, but nevertheless, that's what happened. Philadelphia Eagles came out there and had a very, very, very great game. In my opinion, I was like, I didn't want to say it, but until when it got close to the end of the game, I was like, Kansas City is not the team that everybody thought it would be. I just felt like they had great coaching throughout the whole season or whatnot. But as far as the production aspect of it, it just seemed like it was a lot of luck. But the Philadelphia Eagles is out there to play. Crazy, crazy, crazy game. Everybody just did great. Barkley did great. Hurts did great. Cooper did great. It was crazy because Barkley and Cooper had birthdays yesterday. So what a way to celebrate your birthday by winning the Super Bowl. So the obvious stuff, obvious thing, Kendrick Lamar's performance at the Super Bowl 59. This is crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. I hear peacocks. It's peacock season, and it's so aggravating. Nevertheless, the obvious thing was Kendrick Lamar's performance. Did a great job on his set. He did the obvious. The way that he brought in the obvious was very creative. I just love his artistic moves. Being a super, super hip hop head of in this culture, I love a good artistic angle that some of these hip hop artists do, and to have a big platform like that, the way that he executed the whole thing, it was just beautiful, man. I did think that he was going to be doing some of his older music, but he did stick with like the current stuff, which it's funny when I saw him perform the music that he just released a couple months ago. You could just tell how much of a stadium music, this is. Like it would just this music is so stadium like, so it fit perfectly in a situation that he was in. Not necessarily with the Drake beef, but more so with like the times and just giving us the anthems, like that anthem music that I call it stadium music. You probably hear me say it in Flowers for the Culture podcast. I'm always like stadium music. Matter of fact, let me see if I got stadium music. Stadium music, where are you at? There we go. So when I say stadium music on Flowers for the Culture podcast or just anywhere, that is what I mean. So when you hear stadium music, think about this. But it was just like when he played, like when he performed TV off, it gave like this, I'm talking about triumphant sound, and just, I mean, and the fact that what Kendrick stands for, like he really is really engulfed in the culture like that, and the way he stands on it, it's just crazy, and it matched perfectly with how everything was moving. Sorry about it, I got something in my eye, but all right, I'm back. Darn eyeball went crazy. But nevertheless, stadium music, I think it was good for the times, good for the momentum was going on. It was just been a lot of, but like the start of 2025 had just been this interesting thing, and it's still going on to this day. And I won't have to go deep into that, but it's just been really, really, really daunting, dark, interesting, whatever you want to call it. But so for Kendrick Lamar to come and be on this big platform and just be so diplomatic in a sense, at the same time too extremely petty, I was here for it. So yeah, so shouts out to Kendrick Lamar on his show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was on Threads last night, and I even jumped on X a little bit. Why? Don't ask me why. I just went on there to see what the talk is about. And it was interesting to see that what people like and didn't like about Kendrick Lamar. I found there was a good little bit of people that just didn't like Kendrick Lamar's performance. For whatever reason, and it's all respected, but I don't know. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was cool to have. It was hella black, which I'm all about. Hella black, hella meaningful. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Other performances like the intro to the Super Bowl was cool. Saw Master P walk out on the field. Not sure what he was doing or whatnot. I was told that it might have been like the Grandmaster or whatever it is. I'm not familiar with the New Orleans culture, and I really, really want to go. I only been there when I went to the airport for a layover, but I really, really want to go to New Orleans and seeing the Super Bowl in that capacity and just all that culture they got going on. I definitely have to go at some point. So New Orleans is definitely added to my bucket list of places to go and just experience the culture. Uh, but yes, so they had performances by Southern University, which that was dope. John Baptiste did the national anthem. Legacy did "Let Their Voice and Sing." It was cool that they had natives of New Orleans doing these performances or whatnot. So that was a great shout out to New Orleans, to the NFL, and the people that put that together. So uh, yeah, so the Super Bowl's good. I'm ready to watch Kendrick Lamar's show over again because I thought it was just a great show. Period. All right. Next thing I have 5 tools I can't live without when creating for me and for MPN. So I'm creating all the time, whether it's on my mobile or on my phone or on my computer, wherever. I have to have these tools on me at all times. All right. So I'm going to go through my 5 tools so I can let y'all know um, how I get down in these creative streets. All right. So first one is Canva. Love Canva. Love Canva. Canva is like the clutch thing. Like, um, I've learned how to do my artist stuff. My eye is really bugging with me. All right, all right. Anyway, Canva. I learned how to do a lot of my design work, video work, everything. I learned from Adobe. So we talk about Premiere Pro, Photoshop, Lightroom, Audition, which is crazy. So the whole Adobe situation, I'm all familiar with. But Canva is like really, really quick. It works effectively on your mobile as well as effectively on your desktop, computer, laptop, or whatever. So Canva is like the number one thing for me. I gotta have it. And I have 2 subscriptions. It's so good that I pay yearly on these things. I just cancel one of them, but now the MPN and LP one, I ain't cancel that one. I gotta have that one. But the premium stuff is beautiful. You could basically create anything on Canva, and it would appear, and it looks like something that you would do in Adobe. No disrespect to any one of those entities, but I love the fact that Canva is so clutch and you can like really bundle it up. You can make your brand kits in there. I can make flyers in there. You can do the scheduling in there. I don't do scheduling because when I make the flyers, I make them kind of like on point. But I've made my overlays in there. I've made my backgrounds. I've done all of that. But Canva is like the most beautiful thing in the world. Like I just love it. So that's got to be the number one thing that I'm working with when it comes to my creativity. Number 2, Pro Tools. Pro Tools, Pro Tools, Pro Tools. When I record my podcast, record my audio, if I'm recording a mix, let me take that back. Usually I'm using Adobe Audition to mix my mix. But when I'm doing podcast work, when I'm rapping, all that stuff, Pro Tools has always been my number one thing when it comes to the music side of me. So I've learned how to use Pro Tools, just the interfaces in it. The plugins are just accessible. It doesn't seem too heavy to work with, but at the same time too, it's not no. You go in and just you run into it and you make it work. Basically, like Canva. Canva, you can kind of jump on and kind of see the tricks and trades about it, and then be like, all right, I can run with it. Versus like Adobe, different story. When you with Adobe, you're gonna have to learn because it's very technical. So Pro Tools has got that technical aspect to it, but for me, coming from the musician side and just being in that world for a lot, it was easy for me to learn the Pro Tools. And then when I got into the podcasting aspect of it, it just made everything better. So it made everything better. So I have to have Pro Tools. Have to. Uh, but I'm able to use Ableton as well as Adobe Audition. I know how to work those fluently, but Pro Tools, I get on and I just fly with it. So, all right, my third one is Premium Pro. When any of my video work, I love doing on there. Now, I'll speak on my other mobile action later, but when I'm on my desktop or my laptop, when I get to editing videos, I'm using what you call it, Premium Pro. Premium Pro is about the same levels as a Pro Tools and as Adobe. It just has like that full technical aspect of it, and you have to sit down and learn it. So Premium Pro is like very, very great. So even when I'm doing short form or long form content, I'm definitely using Premium Pro. Um, it is a good thing, and I love that new update that they have. And I honestly don't even know what the update is, but nevertheless, I'm able to download videos just like that, and it's crazy, and I love it. So all the interfaces in there as well, plugins as well. I've added some plugins in there to do some like regular effects to make it look a little more cinematic. A little bit of the titles. Like it's easy to download plugins to put into Premium Pro. So I've downloaded a bunch of them and just tried them out from time to time. So um, it's very accessible, very 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 accessible. So I love that. My fourth one is Ecamm. What I'm using right now, I'm using Ecamm. I remember back when the pandemic happened, we was scrambling trying to find like what to do. Tried StreamYard, I tried OBS. I even tried Restream. And granted, those are fine, but Ecamm is like when I got the Ecamm, I was like, oh man, this is the best. So I've been using Ecamm for about 5 years now. I use it all my video podcasting, anything video that I'm doing, I'm definitely using Ecamm. And it's crazy because I love how Ecamm when you can record through there. You can record, and then after this is over with, I have the video separate, and then I have my audio files, my sound effects, stadium music. Let me give y'all that stadium music. Because that's how I feel when I finish using Ecamm. Um, yeah, so when I'm on Ecamm, it gives me the package right there. So either I can upload it or actually I can stream to YouTube, all other places. Like right now, I could have just shot this out to the people. But I like how the file comes in and then I'm able to take it into Premium Pro, take it into Pro Tools, tighten up the audio and all that stuff. Now I could do all of this in the midst of I wish I could do this. Let me see. You see my screen, my Super Bowl screen. 1 second, y'all. Uh so this space getting low. Oh, that's crazy. How they gonna tell me this at the last minute? All right. Nevertheless, you see my camera effects. You can see the overlays. There's a lot of things you can see on here. Let's see overlays, and then you have the scenes, all that stuff. So it's like a production right there, right in the middle of it. The sound effects, all the things, man. It's just a beautiful situation, man. It's a beautiful situation. Um, so yeah, that's what I love about Ecamm. Ecamm is like the really dope thing that I like to work on. So, all right, let me check this disk space, y'all. 1 second. All right. 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right, we are bike for Duval, back for the world. All right, so let me see. I gave Canva, Pro Tools, Premiere Pro, Ecamm. So my fifth one that I put Squarespace, but I'm going to go with CapCut because CapCut is the tool that I use like more of. So CapCut. I mean, it's like what is it? iMovie. I mean, it's like um, I use CapCut for if I'm not in front of Premium Pro, I use CapCut for mobile. So I'm able to like do my videos, put them together. The effects is like very good right there. What did I do? I paid for the premium action, so I have a little bit more exclusivity when it comes to the overlay. You know, just little stuff that I can do with it. But I love the fact that I can record something on my phone, and then I could just put it together in CapCut. CapCut is like the very, very clutch thing. And I had been here by CapCut for a minute, but I didn't fully get into it until like 2023, definitely 24ish or whatnot. But 23 is when I kind of jumped in, was like, all right, let me see what the deal is with that. But I love how so mobile it is. Like the videos that you can put together on there and post it right on your social medias. This is very dope and quick to for a content creator to really put that together that quickly, like that, with a powerful tool like CapCut. I think that was great, man. It was crazy when this whole like TikTok thing happened, and that's when I found out that CapCut was in kind of alignment with TikTok. So that little day or two that it shut down, thank God I didn't have any work to do, but we back in effect now, so it's cool. So those are my 5 things. I want to throw a little bonus one in there. The bonus one is Squarespace. I love Squarespace. I manage four websites on there, 4 or 5, not sure, but definitely 4. So I'm on there and I monitor it. So I do Al Pete's, my personal one. I have the MPN one, and then I have NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists, the Northeast Florida chapter, um, and then the G4 series, where my album I just dropped with Nasa Cal, that's on there. So I manage those 4. But I love Squarespace. It's very easy website building action. I'm able to embed a lot of stuff. The embedding process on there is not as hard. I know I've had experience with WordPress and even with Wix, and it just seems very, very like not user friendly. But Squarespace is definitely user friendly. And then you're able to have a really just dope product when it comes to your website or whatnot. It don't take a lot to do it, and anybody can do it, whether you're technical with it or not. It's just easy work to do. So Squarespace is another one. That's my bonus one. So top 5 tools: Canva, Pro Tools, Premium Pro, Ecamm, CapCut, and Squarespace. So I gave 6. All right, and then the last thing we're gonna talk about is these R&B parties. So, my people that don't know, here in Jacksonville, Florida, I'm part of a cruise called R&B Mostly. So I'm one of the DJs, the communications person in regards to that. So I've been working with them. Shouts out to Larry Love, the whole team, Teasy, Carissa, all the team over there. We have it it's every 4th Friday of the month. Every 4th Friday of the month here in Jacksonville, Florida. It's an R&B party that we have. It's R&B mostly. We play. I'm going to say we play 95% R&B, just straight R&B, and then the mostly part is when we play the raps and all that stuff. But majority of the night meaning like majority of the night, we are playing the throwbacks, the new stuff, the alternative, just the classics of R&B music. That party is so embedded in like just the R&B vibes and the genre. We really want to take it. We really want to take it to the next level, and I'm hoping that I can do that with a lot of the things that I have planned, from the communications, marketing aspect of things. Our parties are great, but would love to elevate it a lot more. So I'm always thinking of new innovative ways to build up a brand or push it forward or expand it. All of the things to try to scale it, all that. So nevertheless, if you're in Jacksonville, come to R&B Mostly. It's a great time. It's going to be on February 28th, but it's every 4th Friday of the month, and it's at Emerald Station. Make sure you follow R&B Mostly. It's R and then a letter N and then B Mostly on Instagram to get all the updates. And you can follow me on there as well, with Mr. LP, MPN, all that stuff. The Groove Suite, we always promote all that stuff on there. So with that being said, I saw a thread a while back, and I'm going to read it. It said, I wish there was an R&B party, specifically 90s, that only played B-sides and less popular singles. Tired of people having R&B parties and only playing Return of the Mac, Poison, Can We Talk, and This Is How We Do It. Man, I be playing songs like Come Over by Faith and My Heart Belongs to You by Jodeci. All right. So I want to talk about that a little bit because I me being a DJ, I guess I got the vantage point on that or whatnot, whatever you want to call it. I got the insiders. So I will say this, and I won't get too technical with it, but I'll try to be a little more whatever. So I know for me, I pay attention to my people. When I'm DJing for the people. I'm not DJing for myself. Uh, if I was throwing an event, even if I was throwing an event, I would want to. I still want to make sure that I'm, catering to the people who are. Jesus Christ, my eyeball is like on some other crap. My apologies. Um, I want to cater to the people that are there. Now, do I want to put people on? Yes. Do I want to give people a different experience when they come from time to time? Absolutely. But you just can't run up in these parties and be like, "Oh, you're going to listen to what I want y'all to listen to." Like, I just don't rock like that, and I have another method of doing that. Like, I have a Discord page, and I put a lot of music in there or stuff music related in there. Now, Groove Suite, I do that as well. Groove Suite on Facebook, the Groove Suite on Facebook, we are in there talking and whatnot. But I'm trying to start this community where I'm able to like put people on. At some point, I'm going to merge this stuff into my DJ sets. But when you playing for a group of people, you know, you gotta. Well, I'm going to cater to them as much as I can. So with that being said, it's very limited access for me to be able to just be like, let me just throw B sides in there. Majority of DJs, we rock like that. All right. Yeah, we just rock like that. So it's not as easy as it is to be like, let me just do these B side things. Like I'm sure if you did one by yourself or through a party or whatever, somebody in that building is gonna be like, I need to hear Can We Talk by Tevin Campbell. Now, every R&B party, do they play Can We Talk about Tevin Campbell? When I See You by Fantasia? Absolutely. All the time. I feel like the R&B brunches, they always play those two songs. And when I DJ, I always joke about that and say, this is what they're playing. This is what they play at R&B brunches, at R&B parties, jokingly, whatever. But those are favorites that people love to hear. Those are like the typical R&B songs that people want to hear. Like, I'm trying to say it in a way that it don't come off like it's harsh, but like things to consider. Things to consider. Number one, audience, like I just told you. Number two, party versus experience. Sometimes people want to come and just listen to the music. One thing that a lot of people were saying about Kendrick Lamar's performance, they were saying it was cool, but this is a Super Bowl performance. We want to perform. We want to party. We want to have that or whatever. I understand that. It might not have been everybody's tea to be like, okay, well, I'm trying to listen to Kendrick Lamar with his black righteous stuff. I get it. I get it. But at the same time, too, Kendrick Lamar had an experience. He was giving us an experience. So I feel like there's a difference between a party and an experience. So I know for me, when it comes to R&B mostly, or when I do R&B, when I play R&B music, when I DJ, I'm in and out of party slash experience. Overall, I feel like when I'm DJing, I'm giving you the Alpid experience, the MPN experience. I'm giving y'all the soundtrack. But I've gone in a lot of places, and these people just want to just dance. These people just want to hear R&B music. They don't care nothing about no experience and stuff like that. And you got to cater to that, especially if the person that booked you to do the party, if they're paying you to say, "Hey, play R&B music, get these people singing, all that other stuff." You can't. That's yeah. That's just. I'm trying not to be like, Ugh. And then another thing that you want to consider is type of songs you play. So the Can We Talks, the Poisons, the Return of Max, those are classic songs that R&B songs have produced, right? Well, R&B songs that have been produced and everybody loves it. Everybody has their own personal connections to it. I think there is a style of playing that will make it better. So the Return of Mac and the Can We Talks or whatever don't sound too daunting. But at the same time, too, that goes back to one, the audience, two, the party versus the experience. So, I just think you have to be very mindful of those things before you just sit here and say, I'm tired of going to these parties and they're playing the same songs. I mean, if you have a crew of people, if your audience is between 35 to 50, you might want to play Can We Talk. Now, it's just a moment in the time, all right? Let's just say if the event is like 4 to 5 hours. We could throw some Eric Roberson in there. You could throw some Afrobeat in there. You could throw, what they call it, trap, soul trap. You know what I'm saying? Some Bryson Tiller. I mean, all that stuff. You can throw SZA in there. It's a mixture of R&B music that you can throw in there. So I think the whole Can We Talk and the Poison and stuff like that, it can exist at every party. It's just a common song to play. But from a DJ standpoint and from a promoter standpoint and from a creator standpoint, it would take a good little bit of time to create this B-side type of action, because you're going to have to work that party up. You're going to have to work these things in. And at the same time, too, you're not the only person at the party. So DJs, creators, event planners, promoters, the venue has to, be well-rounded and understand that they have to cater to as many people as possible. So I'm just saying that from a respectful side of things. And I could jump more into it later. Please share your thoughts about the R&B action. It's when I saw it, I was like, and I see people talk about it all the time. People always playing the same songs. I mean, that's just how things work. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to bring a different experience to it, there's a nurturing type of side that happens, and it's not just you saying, "Oh, let me get this venue and we gonna do B-sides." It ain't that simple. And if it is, great, but more power to you. But I know from experience, even just throwing the R&B mostly parties has been a thing where we have to work up. You know what I'm saying? I'll say this and then we can conclude. But I know people in there between 25 and 30. We played the new R&B stuff, and they're not responsive to it. I've played outstanding, Bear White. I done played 70s and 80s music, and these 25 to 30-year-old adults are moving to it. And these people weren't even born. Like, their parents wasn't even born while this music was coming out. That's something to consider when it comes to the B-side things. Now, do I think B-side things will be dope? Absolutely. But I know for me, I have a method that I would do before I just said, "Oh, I'm just going to throw some B-side music in there." Even at the slightest, somebody will have to narrate that thing very, very, very well for that to effectively be right. So those are my 2 points. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, or just share it with me. Hit me up. Love to have a conversation about this. So, all right. I am done. Like I said, we have a couple more topics that I will talk about on the next go round. Hillman talk, the community aspect. Community is important, and transactional friendships. So we will come back maybe a day or two later and then come back and talk about this stuff. But thank you so much for tuning in to Clear Visions Podcast. Please make sure you follow me, Mr. Alpine, on all the things. MPN Management on all the things. The Groove Suite on all things. Groove Suite. See, R&B Party and Groove Suite. Matter of fact, I'm going to add that to my list that we need to talk about. All right. The Groove Suite. And I can share my thoughts on that like Ooh, that could be a vision check. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, Groove Suite. I'm gonna come back and talk about that. So we're gonna tie in the R&B parties with the Groove Suite. That's my brand, and the Groove Suite. I mean, long story short, man. Like I would love to just play nothing but neo soul, conscious hip hop. But I have expanded it to where people can understand that brand a lot more because you still kind of like niching the things in there, but you don't want to. Oh, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. But nevertheless, follow the Groove Suite, follow MPN Management, follow Mr. Alpete on all the things. Make sure you go to the website, MrAlpete.com. Make sure you go to MPN-LLC.com. All the things, man. Clear Visions Podcast. Be good to others and be good to yourselves. I'm out of here till next time.